Once upon a time, there was an unusually positive Kazakh custom. While the guests gather together, the host will meet his guests with a song. They, on their part, will also sing back to him. The songs, as a rule, were witty, humorous, and lyrical. Kazakh folk poetry has absorbed a lot of songs that are divided into two large groups. One, ritual and domestic poetry. Another group, lyrical works reflecting the feelings and emotions of people, explains literary expert Asima Ishanova.
Наша казахская поэзия уникальна прежде всего, потому что она была социальной. Она была очень тесно связана с народной жизнью. Вот если бы не было Махамбета, то не было бы и восстания под предводительством Исатай Тайманова.
Our Kazakh poetry is unique primarily because it was social. It was closely linked with people's lives. Now, if there wasn't any Mahambet, there wouldn't be uprising led by Isatai Taimanov, because Mahambet inspired people with his verses because they too were at the head of the troops. Kazakh poets fought for justice, for the ideals of people, and this makes Kazakh poetry great, but these traditions are not well known to the world. Zhirao are called those artists who can easily improvise, and it's a real talent because in this kind of art it is important to have an enormous genetic memory and be aware how people are living and what worries them. Zhirao is in fact a repeater of folk poetic tradition. This is the art of the centuries which was passed almost verbally with no written framework.
Стянет потуже поэт свой стан, вдаль посмотрит, назад и вперед. Каждое слово, как талисман, к мысли заветной он подберет.
Очень много интересных поэтов было. Но если к древности обратиться, казахских жирау, Жимбек жирау, Кастуган жирау.
There were a lot of interesting poets. In ancient times, there were such Kazakh jiraus as Jibek jirau, Kastugan jirau, Aktamberdi Bukhar jirau. It's a completely new phenomenon that was not known at the time. And only now we started to study it. We were able to keep and save the art that we didn't possess in a physical way. We were able to save it verbally until this day. And this is quite a unique phenomenon in jirau poetry, which other nations don't have.
Чего нет ни у какого народа.
According to the literary critic, there are more and more talented poets. Various poetry clubs where recitals are held on a regular basis, where anyone can read his work, help to reveal and develop talent of young Kazakhstani poets. Such evenings of Alimjan Akhmetov became the beginning of the road to the great creativity.
Одно дело, когда ты свои стихи, смотришь, они у тебя записаны в тетради там, или на компьютере, а другое дело, когда эти стихи опубликованные.
It's one thing when you're looking at your poems that you wrote in a notebook or on a computer, and it's another thing when these verses are published in the brochure, typeset published in some sort of circulation. Those works that are included in this collection after the publication, they already, I guess it is the psychological feeling that they live their own life from now on. That is, they're not subjected to me, they're not mine anymore, they left me. Here's an interesting feeling too. For me, poetry means, in the highest sense of the word, religion. This is what makes us better, stronger, kinder, and brighter.
Это то, что делает нас лучше, сильнее, добрее, светлее, чище.
Alimjan already has his first collection of works, which he successfully presented in Astana and Moscow. He called it Temporarily. It seems that this is a short and succinct name already makes people think a little.
Молодежь, которые собираются и яркими метафорами говорят о том, что их волнует, живописуют красками современную реальность, свои чувства.
Young people get together, they express themselves in vivid metaphors depicting modern reality. It certainly just sprouts which link modern man with the cultural memory of the people, and certainly among them there will be poets similar to the Kazakh jirau Mahambet. Therefore, I believe that their books must be published, their books must be maintained, as they need to write because they came into the world not to write on the table or to write for themselves, but in order to communicate their ideas and feelings to people, to make that analysis of what happens to us with the modern man. This is a very important task, great task of literature in general.
В этом задача, очень важная задача литературы в целом.